My interest in Echo really went up after seeing that first trailer, where it looked surprisingly violent and dark and gritty and bloody. It looked tonally quite reminiscent of the Netflix shows, and then Marvel revealed it was rated TV mature, the first show that they've done with that rating. And I was starting to get quite excited about Marvel possibly finally doing something really, really different and just going for the darkness and going for that violence and that brutality and giving us something, again, more reminiscent of the Netflix shows compared to the other Disney Plus shows. Yeah, that's not what happened. Make no mistake about it. Echo is a Disney Plus Marvel show, and the whole TV mature rating has been hella overhyped. I honestly don't see how this even got a TV mature rating. I mean, there's a bit of blood in some of the fight scenes, and that gives it an edge over some of the other MCU stuff in comparison. But TV mature rating for Echo? I don't get it. So if you've yet to watch Echo and you have it in your mind from the trailers that it's going to feel like the Netflix shows, just temper those expectations, because in terms of the character work, the writing, the dialogue, and the execution of some bits, it's a Disney Plus Marvel show through and through, just with a little bit more blood in some parts. I mean, I do appreciate them taking the story and the characters seriously. There's very little of the Marvel comedy in here, but the story and the character work to me was just kind of meh. It's just stuff you've seen a lot, you know, reconnecting with your roots in your hometown, and there's complications with Maya and people she left behind many, many years ago, and the dialogue there is just kind of tired, and you've heard it a lot, and it's kind of generic. And that's what I mean when I say the show feels like a Disney Plus Marvel show, in terms of the writing, the dialogue, the overall execution, direction, and the way the show is made and put together. It just feels kind of simple, and they go for the most basic version of everything possible, dialogue wise and direction wise. There are shots that are CGI that just straight up don't need to be CGI. I don't know if it's just me, and it very well could be just me overanalyzing and overthinking it, but a lot of Disney productions lately, to me, just feel really basic in the way they're written and the way they're directed and the way they're put together. A lot of their films and shows across Disney Studios, Marvel Studios, Lucasfilm, whatever, just kind of have that same vibe where it's like Disney doesn't let them really cook with these films and their shows, and don't let them make the best versions of things possible and just CGI everything in, and it just looks like a product. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. And for the most part, Echo just kind of suffers that same fate, minus the bit of blood that's in there sometimes. The fight scenes in Echo are pretty good. The one in the ice rink in episode 3 was quite enjoyable. I liked the fight scene in episode 1 where Daredevil pops in there for 3 minutes of screen time. Just saying, don't get excited about Daredevil, he's there for 3 minutes. But the last fight scene / confrontation in episode 5, really corny. There's something they're doing there that made me roll my eyes and just remember that it's a Disney production. Again, this might have just been me getting my hopes up too high when seeing those trailers, but I saw the trailer, it presented us a tone and a vibe that just isn't really in Echo. That whole Kingpin scene in the trailer where he beats the shit out of the hot dog vendor, that is literally the whole scene in that trailer, and it's by far the most violent scene in the entire show, and it's a flashback scene. Like I said, the whole mature rating thing, really overhyped, but looking at the show and judging it for what it is, with the story and the characters they're presenting us, it was fine. The characterization, storytelling, writing, fine at best, but again, all done in its most basic form possible, meaning that Echo, unfortunately, is another underwhelming Marvel series.